All right, welcome everyone. We see a few attendees joining. Hi everyone. We're just going to wait a few minutes so that people can join. Hello everyone. We're going to give it a couple more minutes so that everyone can join. We're going to give it one more minute. We can start. Okay, I think we can go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Harsha Murray and I'm a part of the technology solutions team here at Verra. I'll be keeping us on time and on track as we move through our agenda. And we are excited to share the significant progress we have made in transforming Verra's digital landscape. Before we get started, I want to confirm that the recording and the slides from today's session will be shared with all the registrants after the conclusion of the meeting. So you don't have to take notes. All right, let's quickly go over our agenda today. We will start with an overview of our digital transformation journey, followed by a deeper look into the Verra Project Hub with a live demonstration. We'll then discuss what's looking ahead for our digital initiatives, share some stakeholder views, and finally provide resources for help before opening up for your questions in the Q&A session. As a reminder, you can type your questions in the Q&A module of your Zoom console at any time during the session. We'll either answer in writing, or if you have questions that are broadly applicable, we'll answer it live during the Q&A session. Given the size of our audience, we will not be able to accommodate live questions, and so we will not respond to raised hands. Now, our Chief Technology Officer, Joe, will talk more about the digital transformation.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Harsha, and welcome again, everyone. So we'd really like to begin today with why Verra is undertaking this digital transformation. To scale effectively, accelerate service, and drive efficiency, we believe that Verra must embrace technology. And by automating and simplifying, we reduce friction across processes. Through our digitized methodologies, automated calculations, and digital MRV, we uphold the highest standards of integrity, and centralizing our data in digital formats enables us to assess risk and improve performance with the goal to build trust across markets. Our tools must be intuitive and user-friendly, and you can hold us to that through your feedback, with the potential to leverage AI to further enhance service. And critically, we are committed to building resilient, secure systems that protect our data and ensure compliance. So next slide, Harsha. Thank you. So I shared an overview of Verra's digital platform at the Stakeholder webinar last week. So in the interest of time, I'll share some higher level insights this time. So as you've seen before, at the core is our Project Hub, which offers an expanding suite of digital tools and capabilities designed to make engaging with Verra more seamless and efficient. And that upper left box, our digital project submission tool, now supports 21 digitized methodologies across Verra programs, with many more on the way. Key features include the ability to integrate through APIs, and our calculation engine quantifies emission reduction and removals. And Venkatesh will be providing a demo to go deeper into those capabilities shortly. In the lower left box, we're piloting a new digital project review process aimed at automating and streamlining administrative steps. And Mohan's going to provide some additional insights into that later. To complete the left side of the diagram is the project tracker, which is one of our most heavily utilized tools that provides the ability to track progress of project-related requests in real time. And then shifting over to the right-hand side, we've enabled a robust suite of digital tools and forms to streamline your workflow, which Harsha will review shortly. Our tools and forms have seen strong adoption, and if you haven't tried them yet, we encourage you to explore. Like I mentioned earlier, your feedback is invaluable to help us continually refine the experience to enhance your usability and ensure optimal systems performance. Finally, the lower right-hand box highlights area of innovation focused on expanding access to data and insights. And we currently have a number of pilot DMRV projects underway. To kind of reinforce the message from last week, to initiate a pilot, the key requirement is a registered project that aligns with the digitized methodology. And some examples of pilot projects include electric bikes, EV charging, biochar, cook stoves, AFLU, and carbon capture and storage, to name a few. As I mentioned previously as well, we are also testing a subscription-based data API that provides access to publicly available project and account data, enabling users to manage projects more effectively and generate market insights. And our project location review tool helps ensure there are no overlaps in project boundaries, which we hope to make available later this year for you as well. And then our long-term monitoring system, which leverages geospatial data, is designed to track nature-based projects for potential loss events, supporting long-term project integrity. Finally, we welcome collaboration, whether it's sharing best practices, offering input on how we can improve our tools, or identifying opportunities where future solutions could support your needs. Your ideas help to shape what comes next, so please bring them forward. So with that, I will turn it over to Venkatesh Sharma, our Senior Director of Technology Solutions, to walk through our capabilities from a more technical perspective. With that, over to you, Venkatesh.
Thank you, Joe. This slide provides us with a visual overview of the project lifecycle within Verra's digital ecosystem, illustrating interconnectedness of these digital elements, streamlining the project lifecycle from initiation to issuances. Our programs and methodologies form the foundation for projects. Various project types are measured, monitored using diverse technologies and tools. For example, data can be collected by project proponents or by sophisticated automated system utilizing sensors, which are eventually validated by BVBs. Data flows across system through APIs. The Project Hub supports our digitalization effort, leveraging data in our registry. Both systems advance our DMRV and LTMS work. Interactions with exchanges and buyers occur via API. Now our project manager, Harsha, will go over illustrating our key milestone on the Project Hub.
Thanks, Venkatesh. So this is how the Project Hub looks like. If you haven't seen it yet, we have recently introduced a dashboard. This interface allows for more intuitive navigation. I'm going to show a live quick demo of the dashboard. So this is the home page. If you click on this little home icon here, that's what you will see. And as you can see, this shows a list of all the applications that are live right now. The blue boxes are external applications that we have. The green ones are internal applications to Verra users. And then the orange ones are also internal, which are more system specific. On the right-hand side, you can see that there is a detail view toggle option. If you switch it on, you can see a detail view with numbers where you can see total submissions, drafts, approvals, and things like that. You can go back and forth by clicking on this toggle right here. There's also an option for you to select accounts. If a user is associated with different organizations or different accounts, they can just select on a drop down and select different accounts that they're associated with and perform certain actions or use the applications accordingly. And to access a particular form, let's say this one, you can just click on that blue box and it takes you to the particular application. Instead of having to navigate through these menu options, you can just use the dashboard to access an application. This is a recent release of exemption request form. If you click on create form, it shows a nice intuitive UI where you can select certain information that is readily available, provide additional information, and click submit. So this is just a quick overview of what the dashboard looks like and what type of forms we have. Venkatesh will do a deep dive into the digital project submissions tool. And over to you, Venkatesh.
Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
All right. So in this screen, you are seeing the slide was showing the interface from our live environment production. But today's on this demo, I'm going to use our staging environment, which is better for demonstration purposes. So as you can see here, we have this dashboard. We can enter to our digital submission by clicking this box. Alternatively, we can also go to this project menu. And currently, we support creation of project description, monitoring report, validation report, and verification report. So these are 2 access points. Let's go from this box. It will render a page where you can see all the records that you have access to. And essentially, if you look at the this list, we can filter all the records by utilized methodologies. For example, this methodology, or by going through another filter item like created by me or certain accounts and so on. Project Hub supports an entity level aggregation of data, and user have access to multiple account holders that we can do from this select account tab. And only permitted user can have access to those. And this is showing a view of all the project description that I have access to. And we can edit it. We can download a PDF. For submitted project, we can generate a validation report from the record itself, and we can share those records with others, collaborators within or outside of an account or organization. The way we do this is we can start with the create new project description. There is the disclaimer, which is a legal language. And after I click this disclaimer, we see all the methodologies that are digitally available. This 27 is, there are a few on test, but in our production environment, we have 23 right now. These methodologies are supporting various programs. For example, VCS, we have 21, plastic, we have 3 methodologies, SD Vista, we have so on. CCB, and in future there will be scope 3. But right now, let's take a look at the VCS program. So we can support, Project Hub supports 21 methodologies. If I look at energy distribution, there is none. Energy demand, there are 3. Let's take a look at energy renewables and so on. And then we can filter these methodologies that helps our stakeholder through which methodology can I use under which sectoral scopes. So if I go to waste handling and disposal, we have a biochar. And for biochar, we have one methodology. And what we can do here on is that there is a concept of custom methodology template. This is to support digital submission, where we have not yet digitalized methodologies. So we can have a placeholder for digital submission. So other benefits of digital submission will apply here as well. Now, if I go to select a methodology, right now I have filtered the list down to 1, so I can only see 1. So if I check this methodology, I can see the applicability criteria for utilizing this methodology under VCS standard. So I can say confirm. And if these projects are already registered, I can click here and I'll find a list of projects from the registry. If not, if it is a fresh project, I can start with testing for BE, and I can name this document. That should be, this is the name of the document, the way you can actually visualize things. And then I have these templates available right now, 4.4 and 4.3, but we do have other templates as well. And I can create a project. So this will create a project in our system. Now I can log out, log back in, and start with filling the data a little at a time so it can be completed. We can navigate through this project description template by going through these tabs. So these tabs are aligned with our templates that we have been working on for the last 20 years or so. And we can go to table of contents. So we can see this document is divided into several sections, and we can navigate through these sections from the table of content as well. And if you want to go take a look at the methodology, by clicking this button, it will take us to methodology page. And we have instructions that are best practices. And then we have this versioning. If I submit a document that I have to rework, then I can keep the version there. I can restore version from previously submitted version as well. And there is a help and so on. And then we have this save as a draft that we use to, keep the document intact and then come back and work on it later. And there is a calculate button. What it does is it calculates all the estimated ER. It calculates the entire quantification process, and then it can flag if there is something wrong about the data and process. And then if I go back to home button, it will take me to our Project Hub. You can go back to do other steps. And now you all know that creating a PD is a tedious process, and it requires a lot of time and effort, but we try to make it simpler, utilizing these technologies and tools. What I want to do next is I have opened this record project description. It's still under biochar. What I have is there are these fields, which I have filled for some project details. So this project has all the required parameters in here where I say project proponent. I have other entities involved in the project. I have 7 years, twice renewable creating period. And then I have location of these facilities for biochar production. So these are instances. In AFLU projects, we require uploading of a KML file. For energy and industries, that's not required. And we can see the application of the methodology because this particular submission requires we justify why this methodology applicable. So we have this placeholder so each stakeholder can enter this data. More importantly, we have a quantification logic. This is similar to what we see in the methodology, but we have this use calculation engine flow that will help us make sure that all these data and parameters are correctly entered into the system. So if I go to this monitoring tab, we have these parameters here. Something with the red is required, and something which is not red is not required. And you have to customize this, whether you want to display this in the final output or not. And emission reduction removal is quantified. If I look at to appendix, I have all the needed information that we would need for each of these values. So they are auto-generated. One important thing about this digital tool is it is very much aware of what is required from the project developers to fill in the details. So let me show you this value FCTP, which is organic carbon content of biochar. So we make mistake. Let's say I made a mistake of this decimal. There is a missing decimal. So that means the entire quantification would be different. However, our system is informed of the fact that if I try to run a calculate, it says calculation failed. There are issues with your data. And then what you can do is you can open this data tracking log. It can tell you exactly what is needed in that particular field. Organic carbon content field should be between 0 and 1. So now let's say another instance is I forgot to add completely. It says a value must be entered. We need a value, and we're also checking the validity of those values. And at this time, the record is in inconsistent state. So emission reductions and removals are gone. So we don't have a way to submit incorrect data. At the same time, there is no submit button. So now I want to go back and change this value to correct one, 0.37. That is still not right, 0.37. Open and recalculate. Now I have this submit button available for us. So now we can submit this record. And then we have emission reductions, and they are dynamic. If I change one value, it will change. On top of that, something that is of significance here is if I go to quantification, these parameters are everywhere, but we have done our work to say how we can ensure these are providing value in quantification process. So our goal here with the calculation engine is ensure everything is correct, at least from the data level. So if I change this leakage value, calculation button is enabled. So I can calculate again. Calculation completed. And the values increase a little bit because they are dynamically linked to each other. And then when we submit this document to registry, we need to provide some stuff that our registry would require. So we enter this data and we can submit it. But what I want to do now is if I go to monitoring report, it follows the same process. I create a monitoring report. I have this. What I can do is I can create a monitoring report on top of what I created earlier for project description. Much of the information will be pulled in, so we have less work to do. And then it follows the same pattern, calculation, and so on. And if I have a monitoring report that was submitted, now a VVB would come in and they want to create a verification report on the monitoring report. So if I click this, it already knows which project and which monitoring report. And then I have a verification report demo. So what I'm doing is I have a project. I created a monitoring report. Now I'm creating verification report. When I say I, it would be VVB. Description TBD. I create a verification report. So what it does is it tries to pull as much information as possible, so that at least there is no copy paste or missing error. And this is how the verifier will fill in their opinion. Now I want to go back to project description. So just like here, this button create validation report is active because this project is ready for such a validation because it has been submitted. For others, it is not. Another thing is I can share this record to an account holder, such as if I select share this with a Verra or whichever account holder, all the users operating under that account with the right permission can have access to record. We can individually share this report with others, and that is individual. One of the question we saw in the quick Q&A session is, can we use a uniform single login? We advise against that because every user's actions are tracked. For example, if I open this record, we are tracking activity log, so we can see who created what and what changed when. So this provides us with traceability. And then what we have is, if I see this document and I want to like print it for PDF, I can click this PDF button and it will create a PDF for us. So this is the same PDF that we have. We can share around, we can review them. And then we talked about monitoring report. Monitoring report follows the same pattern. And finally, what we have is, if we want to interact with this system from an API perspective, like a software, which is precursor to DMR-based approaches, every operations that I showed you or the Project Hub supports is also supported via API. So you don't have to come to user interface. Systems can communicate to our system, and all these operations can be done in an efficient way. That was my demonstration. Back to you, Harsha. All right, on this slide, what we are seeing is how are we leveraging Hedera Guardian into Verra Guardian integration. What this does is we had a capital investment grant from Hedera, and with this, we made an integration with Verra Guardian. With that integration, we have started with the VM33, and there are more to add. For example, we have a methodologies 42, 47, 48, 49, and 50 coming pretty soon. The Hedera Guardian integrates directly with Verra Project Hub, streamlining project workflows with the goal of enabling faster, more automated process. This integration lays the foundation for a more scalable and high integrity carbon market. And what we plan to do is accelerate the digitalization of 20 additional methodologies over next year. But please reach out if you want to use Guardian service for developing projects with Verra. Next slide, please. The Project Hub continues to evolve, benefiting significantly from the extensive feedback and testing provided by our valued stakeholder. At this juncture, I would like to invite one of our stakeholders who utilized the Project Hub for document submission to share their experience and insights. Welcome, Arnav.
Thank you, Venkatesh. Thank you to Verra for hosting this webinar to present digitization efforts. And thank you to everyone for joining and being a part of this discussion. At Together for Restoration, we've been working with farming families to help them adapt to the effects of climate change and also contribute to mitigation. Our field officers collect numerous data points from textual to visual data, all captured digitally end-to-end in the complete life cycle of projects. Our DMRV system focuses on processing these large amounts of data into actionable insights, and we use machine learning, particularly computer vision, to make systems smarter, efficient, and maximize ground impact. In this DMRV process, Project Hub plays a crucial role in project development. It is a very powerful tool that will help projects overcome two key challenges in their digitization journeys from our experience. It enables full integration of data flows, making the entire process of development auditable, digital, verifiable, and traceable. So all the data that you're collecting as a part of your operations and part of your project, in each monitoring period, you'll be able to connect your data flows from your monitoring systems, from your databases to Project Hub and process that digitally, making your projects easily verifiable and traceable end to end. Makes the project efficient, especially by allowing to create and managing your project descriptions and monitoring reports in a digital format, as Venkatesh described. They have been super helpful for us to be able to be efficient in creating this documentation. Before Project Hub, preparing these documents was very time consuming, multiple versions with manual steps. Now, the monitored data can flow directly into these digital templates, generate the required reports, and make updates seamlessly. This has reduced the time spent on documentation and has made the entire process and the reporting cycle smoother for all stakeholders in the process, from our project to Verra and global stakeholders. Our experience with Project Hub has been very positive. It has not only improved our speed, but also helped us track progress in real time and keep our stakeholders aligned. This will enable projects to move forward faster and focus more on more impact than paperwork. So we believe that climate change is happening now, and collectively, our work on adaptation and mitigation needs to accelerate. Technology is the only way, and it is one of the ways that gives us the ability to scale quickly and deliver better results faster. Project Hub exactly embodies that approach. It will help us make project development more streamlined and collaborative. So all Vera's digitization efforts, we believe this isn't just about technology. It's about helping climate projects move faster, work better, and reach communities sooner. Thank you, everyone, and feel free to ask any questions. Over to Harsha.
Thank you so much, Arnav. Next, Mohan, our Technology Solutions Manager, will walk us through what is looking ahead in our digital initiative.
Thank you, Harsha. Let me help you peek through what the future holds for us on our digitalization initiative. As Joe alluded earlier, we are digitalizing the internal review process as well. The review process entails the digital project review report. I think most of you are familiar with that PRR. The digital project review report is designed to enhance processing efficiency and foster better collaboration among the various stakeholders, including project proponents and VPs, when it comes to the project review. The digital PRR automates review rounds and provides a real-time status update. It also stores data for future analysis. As you see on that image that we have here, you can see that you can download all the documents for that particular project for which you are reviewing, doing that review or providing the response. You can use the commenting feature to reach out to the project proponent. You are able to download the PRR in PDF format, and with the click of a button on the review tool itself. On the bottom of the image, what you can see is the system automatically counts the rounds, and including when the round started, when it was responded, and then when the round close date. Since this is a new tool, we are providing training to the stakeholders as well. And we had our first training this past Monday, and 2 additional sessions are scheduled for August 18 and 27 with a broader rollout to follow in the coming months. On the Scope 3 standard, we are implementing digital form from the beginning. So Project Hub will support digital submission of intervention documents under Scope 3 program using VM42 methodology and VM43 methodology. And we will add other methodologies also in future. On the high frequency issuance side, our DMRB work is progressing in collaboration with several stakeholders with the aim to issue credits more frequently by leveraging technology supported processes. So we have already achieved the DMRB data exchange for VM38 methodology, and others are in progress. And with the selected pilot participants, we expect to start high frequency issuance by this year. You are aware of the CCP labeling of the credits issued from the Verra registry. CCP labeling for eligible methodologies that are already digitalized on the Verra Project Hub is available, which allows requesting CCP labels easy. For methodologies that are not yet digitalized and are eligible for the CCP labeling, we have a CCP labeling request form available on the Verra Project Hub as well. That can be used to request that CCP labeling for a project. The last one that I want to touch upon is this transitioning from one methodology to another methodology. So at times, Verra requires project to transition from an existing methodology to a new methodology. Any methodology that is available to transition to a new methodology is built on the Verra Project Hub. So stakeholders will be presented with an option to transition to a new methodology. And when you do that, those relevant project information from the previous methodology are retained automatically when a transition is made to the new methodology. So you don't have to do the work twice. So what we assume is that this will reduce the amount of rework that we have to do when you do the transition from one methodology to another methodology on the Project Hub. Project Hub will be able to pull the information from the existing methodology, and it will help to reduce the rework. Over to you, Harsha.
Okay, thank you, Mohan. So Project Hub is available to all the users, and the digital project submissions tool is also available with all the supported methodologies. And if you ever have any questions, need help navigating the Project Hub, or any additional questions, we've got several ways to support you. You can reach out to us via email, visit our website for detailed guides, or check our YouTube channel for step-by-step video tutorials. With that, I would like to thank all our speakers today and kick off the Q&A portion of the webinar. As a reminder, you can type your questions into the Q&A section located at the bottom of your Zoom console. All right, let's look into our questions. What is the estimated reduction in processing time for credit generation under Verra that is expected as a result of this digitization effort?
I can try to answer that, but I don't know if Arnav can provide his experience here. What we have heard from our stakeholder is that the project development and issuance process reduces significantly from multiple months to several weeks. This is because they don't have to navigate through a lot of rules and processes, because digital tool provides those rules for them. But it also depends on experience level of project developers in navigating through Verra processes and programs. Arnab, do you want to add something?
Absolutely. So there are two aspects to this. One is definitely the development time on the developers end, because now you don't have to deal with templates and minor redundant things like fixing your equations in the Word formats. Now you can do that digitally, and all of that is pre-done as a part of the digitalized methodology. So it cuts a lot of time from development on your end, which makes the projects go live faster. And from the review time as well, it reduces significantly, since now I believe the reviewer wouldn't have to focus on small things, but really focus on the larger picture. And a lot of auto validation is automatically done by Project Hub, such as formulas, calculations, and other aspects of validation of your quantifications, monitoring, and following the requirements. So it definitely helps make it a lot faster. Difficult to give a quantified time there, but way faster.
Okay, thank you, Arnav. Okay, could you clarify on the next question is, could you clarify how the digital submission tools calculation engine ensures consistency with the quantification logic in the applicable methodology, especially when methodologies are updated or revised after a submission has begun.
So if the submission has already, the creation of the documents, monitoring report or PD, has already begun, and the document, the methodology has been revised. Once we have digitalized the revised version, that's where the methodology transition will help us. Our colleague Mohan mentioned we have this transition path ready for one methodology. We will have the same path for all the methodology revision. So that means if some parameters are missing in the new revision, then user can simply add them and it should function properly.
Okay, thank you, Venkatesh. Is it possible to fill sections individually by uploading a file for that particular section?
It is possible for all the data and parameters, which are kind of heavy weighted. We can actually upload CSV file for those data and parameters. For other sections, some files we allow them. It really depends on how complicated the methodology is. And we seek your feedback in, okay, this workflow is tedious. Can we make this happen? And that's where Harsha, Mohan can take those requests and then we can put them into pipeline. And yes.
Okay. Is there documentation for the API available?
For DMRB API, yes.
Okay. Next question is it possible to digitally generate summary reports from the PD and or monitoring reports?
We do not have that feature yet, automatically generate summaries, but we have been playing around with AI tools to make that happen, but we don't have that yet.
Okay. Maybe this one is for Mohan. Should the report, whether for validation or verification, be uploaded to the Verra Project Hub only after the internal approval process within the VVB has been completed? Or will there be dedicated sections within the hub for the independent technical review and final approval stages of the VVB?
So the way that we have designed is that, you as a VVB, if you are a designated VVB for a project, and if it is a validation or verification report, you can access those, create those verification and validation report on the tool itself, right? So if you want to, let's say, create a draft and then, later on submit it using the tool, it's up to you. But from the very beginning, you have option to make it available. I mean, you have option to use that particular, verification validation report. But when it comes to, let's say, if you submitted one and then you want to revise it and submit another, we have that versioning thing that takes care of that. So, the updated version will be the version 2, version 3, and it goes like that. So there is a possibility that, you can change your verification report, update it, and send it again. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, next one. As a prospective project developer for two different types of projects, is it possible to know which methodologies are currently covered in the new platform that is not needing a Word draft? In addition, the expected timeline for other methodologies, will they be added? To answer this question, we have a list of digital methodologies on our website, and Every time we digitize a new methodology, we publish an announcement as well. So you can check it on the website and any past announcements to know which one's digital already. And for any future methodologies, in such webinars or in announcements, we will share what are the upcoming methodologies that we plan to digitize as well. Okay, moving on to the next question. Is there an option for VVB to also access the PDD and MR template in order to perform tests? Okay, we are getting more
Yes,
questions and go
I think
ahead.
I can answer that. So yes, so once you are a designated VVB for that particular project, you have access to the PD, the MR, and other relevant documents that you are supposed to refer to when you do your validation and verification.
Okay. The next one is for you as well, Mohan. Will it be possible to track changes to facilitate the review process by the VVBs during the findings round?
That's a very good question. We are currently working on that feature, and it's currently under testing. It will be available on the system in near future.
Okay. Can you speak towards the vision of transparent data and its availability through API or other means? Could one download a list of projects and attributes for analysis? Will this be traceable back through to the Hedera network?
Can you repeat that question again?
Sure. Can you speak towards the future vision of transparent data and its availability through API or other means? Could one download a list of projects and attributes for analysis? And will this data be traceable back through to the Hedera network?
So our data API that Joe mentioned earlier will provide access to all the data. And whether you can put that data into Hedera network is our next level of discussion. Is Verra putting all the data in Hedera network? We are looking into that process because we just started our integration work with Hedera. For all others, we are evaluating how and when.
Okay. Can you speak more to the DMRV tools that are under development for AFLU projects?
For AFLU projects, we really look at DMRV tools at the methodology level. Let's take an example of VM 47 or 48. So in the Project Hub, we have digitalized the structures that we can receive data from API. Now, third parties, there are many we are working with, are creating systems. This system will pull data to fill into those methodologies required data and parameter sections. The way they generate that data is either via satellite remote sensing or LiDAR data, and in some cases, manually entered data or collected data from the field using some devices. So when we look at this DMRB process, it is really with the parties who are building this platform, and our team at Verra will help them ensure the tool or technology meets the requirement for standard.
Okay. Maybe this one is for you as well, Venkatesh. As a project developer, we often collaborate with external consultants who are not part of the organization. Since account sharing is not recommended, what is the recommended process for allowing such external parties to work on digital documents and project submissions in the Project Hub?
Yeah, we have a couple of scenarios here or solutions. If the consultant has a registry account let's say they are part of the system and we know them, individual records can be shared with that consultant. So consultant will have access to those. Other potential solution is if the consultant is working with you and under your account, you can just have him added as a eligible person to operate on your behalf. And that means that consultant will be working under your account. And if the need is fulfilled, at that time, you can remove that consultant from your account. So they can see the records while they have permission to see your records. And then we can remove that permission when that need is completed. That is the best solution at this time, but open to ideas.
Okay. In case we want to change an existing manually developed PDD using the Project Hub, is the Project Hub able to parse an existing PDD, or do we have to manually copy paste the data?
We do not have ability to parse a PDD for the same reason as PDD parsing. While the other documents like the methodologies and program documents are changing, it's not really feasible. We are working on a solution where we can extract data from previously submitted documents. We want to expose that data via API, but right now copy pasting is the only solution.
Okay. Will investors be able to have access as a user via proponents? I'm not sure this one's clear enough, but do we want to try to answer?
We provide access to the Project Hub for all the stakeholders who got a registry account. So if these investors are proponents and they're working with proponents, they can simply use that route to get access to the Project Hub.
Okay, next question is there a mechanism to upload the special evaluation reports on modeling approaches to the hub? For example, an independent model expert evaluation report on the process-based model in QA1 in VM42 that a VVB will engage as a part of their process. This has been sporadic in the past. Mohan, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, so in all these different sections on the Project Hub methodology templates, you have option to upload different documents. And you can upload the relevant document in the relevant sections. So if you are thinking about evaluation report for a modeling approach, then yes, on the relevant place where you explain about the your model, you will be able to upload that document over there.
Okay. How will be the linked supporting material be provided to the PD or MR?
This question probably need more clarification, but in our digital submission, we do have a place called appendix, and we can upload supporting materials there.
Okay. Does the digital scope 3 standard include benefits like health or social equity, or is that planned for future iterations? So this one is more specific to the standard, and our focus is the digital version of scope 3. So for now, it is future iterations for our team. When it comes to the standards, it's different team within Verra who can answer that. Okay, when the VM18 group projects will be digitized?
I can take that one, Harsha. I shared in one of the earlier questions, just with regards to what our next methodologies are. As Venkatesh alluded to, working with Hedera, we've got VM 42, 47, 48, 49, 50, and 51. But we are interested in hearing if you have other, I guess, projects that you're working on that you're interested in seeing us digitize. What you can do is send an email to hubsupport@verra.org. It would be helpful to have a sense for, is the project registered? What's kind of the size and scope of the project? Because ultimately that information can help influence how we go about prioritizing additional methodologies beyond that.
Thank you, Joe. There's another question, which methodologies are digitally available? I think Joe mentioned a few, and I had provided the same response earlier about it, whether about having a list of digital methodologies on our website. And we will continue to do announcements when we add new methodologies digitally. Okay, next question is, can we create our own DMRV for Verra submission, or do we need DMRV that is available in market? How to make sure our own DMRV is accepted by Verra?
I can take that one, Harsha. So just to give you guys some further insights around DMRV. So as I alluded to earlier, we're working on a number of different pilots. And, I guess we're working on those kind of on a one-on-one basis. So maybe similar to my last question, if you have an interest in being added to our pilot list, go ahead and send a note to hubsupport@verra.org. What we're finding is DMRV can be part of a project proponent or stakeholders tech stack, or in some cases, others are hiring a tech provider that can be the recipient or the source for the DMRV data, which ultimately would get fed into Project Hub or in later stages to Guardian. So again, I think the use cases really vary based on the methodology, and there isn't a single source today for DMRV data. It really is dependent on the particular project proponent or stakeholder, the systems or tools they're using. And as Venkatesh alluded to, we do have APIs that are available for integration.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Next one. To what extent does Verra's digital MRV process, particularly its validation and verification procedures via the Project Hub, require endorsement or alignment with ICVCM's core carbon principles and its assurance or assessment?
So our DMRV process is in compliance with our standard program rules and guidance. And when our program rules and methodologies are accepted by ICVCM, Project Hub rebel level details are not really a factor of CCP eligibility or not. A stakeholder can submit documents that are CCP eligible from Project Hub right now.
Okay, thank you, Venkatesh. And that takes us to the end of our allotted time today. I'd like to thank everyone for participating and for asking questions. Again, we will follow this webinar with an email with all resources mentioned and the slide deck, as well as the webinar recording. Thank you, everyone, and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.